and welcome to this episode of Scope. I'm Tracy Pa. Partnership is vital in service delivery to rural districts and provinces in the country. Fresh Produce Development Agency recently signed a memorandum of agreement to partner with the central provincial government in driving the government's agriculture agenda in the province. FPDA Chief Executive Officer Mark Warinu said the signing marks the beginning of more fruitful work to be done in Central Province.
Partnerships are important to Fresh Produce Development Agency to be able to spread its support across the country and improve the livelihood of the people. FPDA Chief Executive Officer Mark Warinu said with partnerships, FPDA can achieve the government's agenda in achieving the 30 million kina in the agriculture sector by 2030. He said the best way for provinces and districts to tie in work with commodity boards and government agencies is to work through a memorandum of agreement. Mr. Warinu made these remarks when inking a memorandum of agreement with the central provincial government in Port Moresby recently. He says the agriculture sector can make a real impact in transforming a community if districts and provincial authorities align their development priorities with state agencies. Mr. Warinu also pointed out that one of the main setbacks in advancing government agenda in getting people to meaningfully participate in national development through agriculture. This collaboration has been lacking between government authorities and agriculture agencies. He said forging partnerships is the best way to achieve key development agendas.
The way, best forward for the provinces and the districts to tie in the commodity boards and government agencies to work in partnership is to work through MOA. And we have seen that the commodity boards with their programs running parallel against the programs on the ground in the districts and in the provinces. And we've seen the need for them to work in partnership. And that has been our call. And I want to commend the governor for taking the initiative. She's been in the office not long, but I think that's a very important step that she wants to see the key commodity boards align their programs and support the government's thinking on the ground. That's critically important to create impact.
Mr. Warinu stressed that partnership is a key enabler in driving economic change through agriculture. Hence, FPDA is keen on partnering districts and provinces in the country to drive this government agenda. He acknowledged the decision of the Central Provincial Administration in working with FPDA to reach provincial goals.
As government agencies operating in the country, we are constrained, particularly in terms of our resources. To spread across the country is really a challenge for us. And the expectations of the government and also for the people is quite enormous in a sense. And so that's why partnerships are critically important. And so that we share the resources in terms of funding and also in terms of human capital resources and also taking ownership of the key programs that we run on the ground so that we create impact. There you would see innovations and also translate to improving the livelihoods of our people.
Mr. Warinu said the expectation by the government from the agriculture sector is to produce 30 billion revenue by 2030, and it needs a different partnership approach to meet this expectation.
I think the government expects that 30 billion should go into the economy by 2030. And we can't expect the same old sort of approach to expect this kind of results in a matter of 4 or 5 years. We have to come out of our comfort zone to doing something. And I think what we're going to sign is basically inconsistent, in line with the thinking of the national government and also the priorities of our strategic plan, where we would like to see all the communities transformed through partnerships with the development partners, as well as the district development authorities and the provincial governments.
Provincial Member for Central Rufina Pita said working in partnership with FPDA is the way forward for the people of Central Province in order to dominate the markets in the capital city.
Those are really, really important concepts that government as a whole wants to see, the whole shifting of our people to doing commercial farming. And so, because most of our farmers are still in smallholder farming space, it can be really challenging, as you and I know, but that is the reality, and we need to work around that to see how do we help our farmers individually, but also towards that commercialization. How do we use the business model of cooperatives in such a way that it does assist them to fully commercializing their farms, and in a bigger way that meets the demands of the market in terms of consistent supply and consistent quality of that supply. So those aspects put together, I thought, with FPDA just across here, it's opportune time. With me sitting in this chair and having that kind of background, I thought it's really important that we actually start this program.
Governor Pita pledged to work with the FPDA to see the MOA come to fruition. She also highlighted that Central has the capacity to feed the whole city, but it needs more expertise to cultivate food for commercial purposes.
Our province is where the main market is. Why haven't we risen up to dominate the market in terms of our produce and supply to the markets here in Port Moresby? And so for me, that is really the reason why we have to partner with you. If we as provincial government have not been partnering with you, we have to partner with you now. And then our targets, what we want to achieve, must be realistic and practical, so that we can, at the end of the period of the MOA, we can be satisfied that we've ticked off on things that we said we were going to do. And every time the environment is changing around us and farmers are impacted, we are impacted. So given where we are at this point in time and the environment within which we are in, the resource that we are in, the technical expertise that we have in our own organizations, we have to make the best of it to achieve what we are saying we want to achieve here.
Mr. Vorinu emphasized that the mandate of the FPDA is to facilitate the development of the country's horticulture industry from production to marketing through its primary function as an information source relating to horticultural activities throughout the country.
Basically, on the ground in Central Province, already we've been, since our existence, it's almost 35 years. But I can be frank, quite honest, that our impact in the communities and in the villages are not quite, remarkable in terms of not doing much for Central Province. And so maybe because of the fact that we are limited by the resources, and in some way we are not there when we expected. And in the backdrop where you see a lack of extension services that we enjoyed some years back, 30, 40 years ago, when extension officers were on the ground, provide extension services, technical advisory service, outreach programs, and all of that are not basically seen now in that absence. We try and hold up a candle, but we struggle. So partnership is the way to go.
After the break, Medang Hat Maniacs bring change and a vibrant look to the province in an effort to shift mindsets and bring back the beauty of Medang. Medang Hat Maniacs is a group of Medang-based artists on a mission to put their palettes to use in an initiative called Yumi Kalari Medang to bring about change and a vibrant look to the province. With Medang being given a negative name tag over the years and with the ongoing political adversities in the province, this initiative seeks to shift the perspective of visitors towards seeing the beauty which lies within Medang town.
Every beautiful Medang, look at me when them smile. Every beautiful Medang, thank you.
Robert Banassi leads Medang Art Maniacs. He is a well-known painter in the country and shares his experiences and knowledge gained from travels abroad to empower and enhance painting skills to his members. This group of artists can be seen outside of the Medang Resort Hotel with their paintings and carvings for tourists and the general public to purchase.
So the initiative in itself, Yumi Kalari Medang, it's basically made up of visual artists, all mangists. We also paint in Medang, and we start in Wood 2 area in Medang Eben, Kalibobo area. Suppose you come visit Medang, please spend some time around Kalibobo, have a look at the murals, admire them, take a photo, tag your friends and tell them these are the new murals underneath the Yumi Kalari Medang initiative.
The initial idea came about when a couple asked them to paint their residential wall with specific artwork. This sparked community interest and became a recreational activity for the group as well. They have already identified areas of interest and have set a target of 10 locations to approach for permission before they can begin their mission.
So one time Islam people have been starting on the first wall. It's about 30 meters by 1.5 meters high. People thank you all property owners. They've been very helpful, all buying all paint. They provided meals for the boys as well, and a lot of support. We all give him come all mangi, we all painted this walls. So I'm opening him up this thing do me plana. People like making him one kind two, all get an arp wall. Not basically the whole of Medang town, but people are focused now locally Bobo. So it's in the Ward 2 area.
Their aim is to paint murals of history and culture anywhere within the Ward 2 area on the blank walls of residences, public and private buildings with permission from owners.
So this initiative we come up with behind visit maybe koran lo dawin lo paint and then through cans maybe lo dawin every single corner where you turn him into lo dawin, whether one back alleyway or backside one building or one 2 tax street, it's like more got painting, and so the theme will be Medang. So people like go back and history of Medang and bring it and relive it on the walls of Kalibobo.
It's not only to beautify the town but also to rekindle dying cultures and traditional knowledge within communities and the younger generation.
So there's a lot of traditional story lo Medang where it's slowly mo can die. Plenty all pingin Medang inosawe good long all this long story. Even all bilas becoming more contemporary, meaning also you buy most to come na bilas na. All pingin plenty long all inosawe all this la. So we're slowly painting those onto walls so that kids can learn and then the parents can teach them all. This la mi plus sapim lo this la diwai name dong em tawir or name lam kunum. We're trying to contribute positively back to Medang.
The main challenge for them at the moment is financial backing in terms of sourcing paint, brushes, refreshment and other logistics which they may require to bring this idea to life.
People know what support also me plus I got before. So when I'm really paint with mi plagat, like mi sali 1 pla 2 pla painting, mi pla simani, mi pla bungin, mi pla bayin paint, mi pla go na mi pla paint. So most of the stuff that mi pla sa walking lo here ilu marang ilu kimo sem mi pla paint the wall na it's not commission, meaning that the boys are not getting paid to do what they're doing. So mi pla just kisim permission taso na mi pla go paint all wall. So in it like they're actually learning a new skill, and also they're growing their portfolio. That we've been painting this wall na this kind. Yes, but it will be really good. Suppose we got support them Kamlo, the Medeng Town Council, also our provincial government, or kind of say Kenlo district, Medeng district, or all open members. Yeah, the sad thing is I'm looking. They know for sure that Mipla stop, but I'm kind of say Mipla no exist.
Their support comes through individuals, friends, and private organizations which they have established relations with. There are also other initiatives and painting programs they wish to start and have kids, the youth, and adults participate in.
But I've been very happy and proud at the same time. Like every week, the boys have been growing from strength to strength. They've been learning a lot of skills since Mipla start and Mipla come. So we are not just a group of artists trying to kalana decorate Medeng. We're also giving back and contributing back to Medeng. All in all, we're very thankful of support. The whole get all pigini marang, all encouragements biblana. I'm encouraging all boys to go that one step further.
However, despite their many challenges, they believe they will accomplish the Unique Coloring Medeng initiative, just as they have done for so many other charitable causes they have been involved in.
So we plan to give up yet. We'll keep on painting, we'll keep on splashing and smashing those walls, and we'll do it because marang and place Mipla. Mipla staff lo kalari marang. Thank you.
By making me yes, this fella Amy Medeng, Amy beautiful Medeng. Look at me when them smile. Amy beautiful Medeng. Thank you.
The first ever PNG Women's National Rugby League competition has kicked off with 6 franchise clubs. The Mount Hagen Eagles, Gorka Lahanis, Ley Tigers, Rabal Gurias, Port Moresby Vipers and Central Dabaris. The 6 franchise clubs played in a triple header at the Santos National Football Stadium on August 3rd to mark the commencement of the Women's National Rugby League competition called Santos Cup. The Santos Cup will be played similar to men's competition with home and away matches culminating in the finals on September. The grand final will run parallel to the men's competition on September 15th. Santos Country Chair PNG Leon Baskin, PNG Rugby Football League Chairman Sunday Saka, and Chrissy Gonisia of the Australia Eye Commission are among those discussing highly of the women's competition.
As passionate as male folks are about rugby league, the passion for sport in women is equal. They love every big hit, the silky footwork and post-try celebrations. Women are part of the sport. On August 3rd, 2024, the first ever Women's National Rugby League competition called Santos Cup kicked off at the Santos National Football Stadium in what is considered the wake of Women's Rugby League.
Ball comes out to Melly Joe. They've got an overlap on the sideline.
Good catch and pass here. Great vision from Melly Joe.
The Santos Cup opener had triple header, where Lace Next Tigers played Port Moresby Vipers in the clash of the cities, before Mount Hagen Eagles met the Rabaul Gurias and Central Dabaris hosted Garoka Lahanis to round up the epic matches. From the get-go, all teams played great entertaining football. The passion and energy from ball runners to the courage of defenders to make the tackle. It was physical. Those first 3 matches gave a glimpse of what the women's competition would look like in the years to come.
A long way, but he's putting a lot of work back into women's rugby league, and yeah, well done to Kathy. But,
At the launching of the competition, PNG Rugby Football League chairman Sandy Saka expressed how adamant he is about the future of the competition. While describing women's rugby league as growing brand of football, PNG RFL chairman is eyeing a 12-team competition attached to the Judicial ExxonMobil Cup competition teams.
We are starting this year with the competition with 6 teams. 6 teams that will be tied to our 6 Digital Cup franchises, with the 1 team from NGI with the Rabaul Gurriers, another team from Momase with the Lay Snakes Tigers, 2 teams from the Southern, Central Dabaris and Port Moresby Vipers, and 2 teams from representing the islands with Goroka Lahanis and the Mount Hagen Eagles. It is a momentous occasion because we're starting with 6 teams, and mind you, the National Rugby League in Australia started with 4 women's teams. Over the next few years, we are looking at building up the national women's team so that all our 12 franchises across the nation can have a women's team attached to it.
Saka said the future of women's rugby league looks challenging from the outset, but it will only become better with time. For every good thing to happen, there must be a tough start somewhere. For the women's competition to come about, it takes almost a decade for PNG RFL to arrive at the point where women and girls can play rugby league at the national competition. Saka explains the start of the journey reflecting back to 2014, where the idea of women's competition was formally put on the table for discussion and lead-up work carried out until the competition came to fruition.
A couple of important dates. The 31st of January 2014. That's the date of the 2014 AGM, which was held in Wabek. That was the AGM at which the women's game, was made a formal part of rugby league in Papua New Guinea. 29th of February 2015, that was the AGM in Ley. That's when PNG RFL brought the 6-tier competition structure that formalized the women's game from the pathways down at the junior level all the way to the senior game. 15th of August 2017, that's when the oil search PNG Orchids, as they were known at the time, were first inaugurated and created. But today, the 1st of August 2024 is a special date for us. We are here to launch the National Women's Competition in Papua New Guinea, the first ever national women's competition in Papua New Guinea.
The PNG RFL chairman thanked all the parties, individuals and corporate entities for the journey and making the women's competition from a mere paperwork to reality. Being a strong partner to women's rugby league in the country since 2017 Women's Rugby League World Cup, Santos, formerly Oil Search, has once again thrown support behind the competition as naming rights sponsor. Santos chair PNG, Leon Baskins, said supporting women in sports is not only about equal participation in aspects of life. It was the right thing to do.
We all know that our population in our country, 50% of that population are women and girls. It's the right thing, and it's the right thing to be involved in sports.
Meanwhile, in partnering PNG RFL in developing rugby league in PNG, Pacific All Sports donated 9.7 million kina to the cause for 4 years. The money will be used in developing rugby league and, most of all, developing junior rugby league so that they fit into the men's and women's national competitions. Australia High Commissioner Councillor Krishni Gunasena is adamant that the Australian government assist PNG grow the sport so that women and girls can have an opportunity in the NRLW in Australia, like PNG Orchids captain Elsie Albert.
As we celebrate the launching of the National Women's Competition, it is important to underscore that investing in women and girls, including through sport, is central to accelerating progress in all areas of society. Sport provides a powerful medium for promoting the talents of women and girls, providing them with opportunities to thrive and helping to equal the playing field between women and men. How good would it be to have more women coming through the pathways and identified through this competition to get into the NRLW competition and join the likes of Elsie Albert?
The Women's National Rugby League competition Santos Cup runs for 6 weeks, with the final scheduled to play in September. The grand final will be played parallel to the men's Digicel ExxonMobil Cup.
And that wraps up another edition of Scope. Thanks for your company. Good night.